What's up, super cool nerds? Ricardo here with a Cats review. That's right, Cats. I went and saw it last night with a friend of mine, BC. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for letting me join you to go to this press screening of Cats. And that was a movie. So there were things I did enjoy about Cats, which, for those that don't know, it is based on a musical that was based off T.S. Eliot writings. So there's that. So I'm gonna start off with the positives because I'm gonna go through those quickly. The dancing in it, the choreography in it was absolutely amazing. The dancing, the just everything about that was top notch for the most part. The one thing about the choreography that kind of threw me off was there were times where when they did certain things, you could tell that they were on wires. You couldn't see the wires obviously, but you could tell that wire work was used, and they didn't like smooth that out to not make it seem so obvious. But other than that, though, the choreography in the movie was absolutely gorgeous. It was it was eye catching. You wanted to see what are they doing next to further this story with the dancing and all that. So that was a big plus for me in the film. Of course, Jennifer Hudson killed it, singing "Memories." Definitely a tearjerker for a lot of people in the movie or in the theater that was watching the movie. You could hear the sniffles here and there. For me, I liked it a lot. The Jennifer Hudson's part, she, like I said, she absolutely killed it. But I was so distracted by the CGI, which I'm gonna get to here in a second, that it didn't quite have the impact on me that I thought it should have. But it wasn't Jennifer Hudson's fault. It was the visuals' fault on that. And speaking of the visuals, the the sets looked awesome. The sets looked really cool. They were really catchy. And each set for different cats that were trying to get to their next life where they were living in that was really cool because they were all so different for the most part. So yeah, so that's the positives of from Cats. Now, the CGI looked unfinished. The CGI was not smooth. There were times when the cats were standing on like just on the floor, and you could kind of tell that they weren't actually standing on there. It was like the CGI was just off, where it looked like they were floating, almost. And when they were dancing, the fur and all that didn't quite move as well with their movements. It was a little sloppy, I guess would be the best way to put it. It was a little, you could, like, I was, as they were dancing, which I, like, again, the dancing was phenomenal, but the CGI just kind of brought it down a little bit, just because of how unfinished it looked. It looked kind of botched almost. And yeah, that really threw me off for the whole film. It was not. Oh man, honestly, they should have done how they did on the Broadway, which was practical effects. Like, this movie would have been a lot better with practical effects. I know what they were going for, and I understand that we have the technology for us not to have to use practical effects, but sometimes practical effects are going to be much better than CGI. So, yeah, and then of course their faces on the cats' bodies. It was creepy, and honestly, half the time, I mean, when when Idris Elba in the movie was wearing the fur coat and then he took it off, he looked naked, and it was weird. It was awkward. Same thing with some of the other actors. Same thing with like whenever you saw Taylor Swift kind of come out, which it was a glorified cameo, and she wasn't that good, and it honestly she felt out of place in that film for me. So it was one of my least favorite parts. And yeah, no, honestly, the CGI really, really threw everything off. I mean, we saw the trailers how they looked, and honestly, what you saw in the trailers is exactly what you're seeing in the film. They didn't clean it up. It didn't look finished. It looked a little sloppy. It looked botched. So there's that. The singing was good. I thought the singing was pretty good. I don't know if they did like kind of like they did with sorry. I don't know if they kind of did with what they did with Les Miserables back in 2012, where they sang on set and kind of re-recorded. I don't know if they did that on set and then went back and re-recorded them singing. But the singing was good. And then see what else, kind of trying to find like something else good I can kind of tell you about this film, because honestly there wasn't much. Just it's short. It's only like an hour 40, something like that, and it moves pretty fast. So that was kind of nice. It wasn't that long of a just kind of seeing like, oh God, please end this. Which honestly, the story isn't bad. I don't know if this is a movie that should have been a movie. Like maybe they should have just left it as a stage production, which I've heard is phenomenal. My parents saw it; they liked it. I haven't seen it. I know you can find recording of Cats from the stage production. They filmed and they put it out on VHS way back in the day. It's probably out on DVD as well, so you can probably catch that. And honestly, I would probably say watch that more over the movie. But yeah, this is my review of Cats. It's just story was 2 out of 5. The choreography was 4 out of 5. The singing was 3 out of 5. The CGI was 0.5. Well, no, I'll give it a little bit more. It was 1 out of 5. And it was cut. The story, the way they cut it was a little weird, and I'll give that a 2 out of 5 also. I don't know what they were thinking trying to make this film. This is a movie that I don't think should have been a movie. It should have just stayed a stage production. There are much better musicals out there that they should make into films, like In the Heights, which comes out next year. Of course, Hamilton, which I hope one day they release as a movie. And I mean, Wicked will be an amazing on screen as well. Those are things I would rather watch as a movie than Cats. So yeah, if you are a fan of musical theater, you might enjoy this. If you're not a fan of musical theater, I don't recommend this movie because you will not enjoy it. Honestly, I would Redbox this movie, and even then I'm a little iffy if I would even recommend that. So, but yeah, Cats comes out this week, comes out up against Star Wars, which, I'm wearing my Star Wars hoodie. But this movie, if it makes money, I'll be very surprised. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. So yeah, so this is my review of Cats. If you guys go see it, let me know what you guys think. Comment down leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you do see it, and if you don't see it, good for you. So yeah. So yeah, and as always, keep on nerding.